What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the DC Multiverse Collect and Connect Steppenwolf from the Justice League series. Now, Steppenwolf is the Build-A-Figure that we have in the Justice League. The head and lower torso came with Superman. His torso came with Batman, Flash, Aquaman. Cyborg came with the left arm and the axe, and then Wonder Woman finishes off with the right arm. Here we have him not fully assembled, but what we're going to do is take a little break, get him put together, and then we'll go on to the rest of his review. And I'm really excited to have him together. He's going to be huge in comparison to the other figures. So let's stop talking and actually get this guy put together. And here we have Steppenwolf fully assembled, and I have to say he is a massive Build-A-Figure. In case you're wondering how big he is about 2 head sizes taller than Ares. Now, if you don't remember how big Ares is, no worries, because I do have Superman right here, who we're going to use for a quick comparison really fast. And you can see he just towers over Superman. I think I can actually stack another Superman on here, and he'll almost... And they will be taller than him, but just look at that size difference. That is incredible. Superman barely comes up to his waist. That's how massive Steppenwolf is. And I have to say, I really do love the way Steppenwolf looks. I know a lot of people are criticizing it because it's not comic book accurate. And, you know, I do like this rendition of Steppenwolf. I was never one for the slave driver of the Keebler Elves look. And that really would not look right on screen. But just looking at this figure, he is phenomenal. He does come with one accessory, and that is his Electro Axe, or his Doombringer Axe. I don't know what it's going to be called in the movie, but let's actually take a look at it. It has a lot of nice, intricate little details in it, and I really can appreciate that. Unfortunately, there is no paint on it, which kind of does suck, because we did see, like, it does glow red from the trailer. But just look at all this intricate detailing right here, going all the way down to the handle, which is really, really nice. And then we get on to the tip. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be sharp, but as it stands, I really do like this accessory. It looks really, really phenomenal. I do have a few issues with it, and that is that it's a really soft rubber or plastic. It doesn't look like it over time, but having it in his hand, you can see right now the head of the axe is actually starting to bend downwards. And that's just because the head is heavier, is much more than the handle can actually support. So do be aware, if you have Steppenwolf holding it, you're going to have to be aware of how you have the axe displayed. Otherwise, it's going to start to do this over time. And really, there's no way to prevent that other than trying to keep the axe upright at all times, which can be a pain, especially with shelf spacing, is how big Steppenwolf is. Moving his axe off to the side, let's actually have a look at Steppenwolf here. And again, he is really, really tall, and they do have a lot of nice details in Steppenwolf. You can see right here, he has, I'm going to guess this is a goatee. I don't think that's actually part of his face, although it would be kind of creepy if it was. You can see there are some red highlights right here on the top of his helmet. Just how much detail is in him is amazing. And then we go on to his armor, which is, it's kind of like a metallic blue dry brush, and I really do like that. It's kind of the same thing we saw with Ares. And I'm starting to see a trend here with the metallic blues and the Build-A-Figures and villains. I don't know if you guys are. And then we have that same red dry brushing or airbrush right here. Something to point out is that his hands do seem out of place because they're white. They're like this really light gray versus this really stark contrast to the rest of the figure. And then we do have like a skull right here. I kind of wish that they threw some an Omega sign somewhere on him, but look at all this nice sculpting work. You can see even his little skirt piece or tassels, whatever you want to call it, are nicely detailed. Even his armor right here in the legs, you can see, is nice and textured. It's really just these horizontal lines, but it actually is a really good job in the sculpt. And his legs are silver versus the metallic blue, which I do like that contrast in it. Going down to his legs. His head is actually touching the top of my display at that point. I'm going to have to just hold his legs like this. But yeah, he is a really big figure, and I really do like when we get big Build-A-Figures, because that's what Build-A-Figures are supposed to be. They're supposed to be nice, incredible heaps of future of toys that we weren't able to get when we were little. And just so amazing with Steppenwolf here. He does have quite a bit of articulation, and let's actually run that down really fast. He does have somewhat of a hinge right here in his neck. That's not a ball joint because it goes up and down, although that's as far up as you're going to have him look, but he can look down really well. And more than likely, if you have him posed next to somebody, he's going to be looking down at them. I really don't know too many figures that will be looking eye to eye with Steppenwolf, and I know I have several of them, but they're all Build-A-Figures. That's just telling you how big he is. But his head does tilt side to side on that ball joint. We really don't get too much. Well, up here we get side to side, but down here it still works surprisingly. How about that? Arms on a ball joint go out to about there, and that's mainly because of the way his armor is sculpted. He can do a full rotation if you move his armor, but forcing it, that's about how far I'm willing to push it. And that's about how far I'm willing to push that. He does have a bicep swivel, which is a little loose on mine, which is really unfortunate because his axe will make that really hard to pose. He is single jointed in the elbow, giving us a little better, well, almost 90. And again, forearm swivel. Why? Because why not, I guess. He swivels at the wrist, no problems. He does have an ab crunch, but he doesn't lean forward. He only leans back, which I guess that's okay. They do continue the sculpt going up. Would have been nice if he also got some downward ab crunch, but it is what it is. He has a waist swivel, which is nice and tight. I do like that. Legs do go forward to about that far. You can see his skirt piece does get in the way. Back to about that far, and then out about that far before the legs, or before his skirt piece brings him back. But if his skirt wasn't there, they would go out even further. He swivels right here at the thigh, but it's hidden underneath his skirt piece. I was going to say kilt. He has a really good bend in the knee. We get 90 degrees with that. And then we get his ankle joint, which only moves forward, doesn't really move back. And sadly, no pivot. But that's Steppenwolf for you. I really like the way the camera vibrated when I put him on the table. So what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Steppenwolf posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do love the way this figure looks. And as I said, he's probably my favorite Build-A-Figure that I have gotten this year. He looks so nice, and there's a lot of nice detail in him. I do hate that the bicep swivel on mine is kind of loose, and then his axe is a really soft rubber. The wrist joint seems to be able to support the axe, so that's a good thing. But like I said, you have to be cautious on how you have him display with the axe, and I think like this it's going to be okay. I'm not a fortune teller, I can't see into the future, but maybe this will be okay. Again, it does take up a lot of shelf space, so I honestly am worried posing him like this because this is such a soft plastic that this might end up warping. Although, I think if I have him holding it like this, it'll be okay. But anyway, I really do like Steppenwolf here, and I really do recommend him if you're a fan of the Justice League movie. You really do need him in your collection. Now, the only way to get Steppenwolf is to get all 6 figures, which was Superman, Batman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman. All of them give you this really nice figure. He does have issues, and again, a lot of people don't like his look, but I actually dig it. I really am not one for the Keebler Elves slave driver, which is what a lot of people were hoping for, but this works, and I do like it. I found all the figures at Target. It did take me 4 hours of waiting, but I do have Steppenwolf here, and I had to say those 4 hours were well worth it. If you can find all 6 figures, I really do say build Steppenwolf and keep him. If you have to sell all the other figures and keep Steppenwolf, do that, but you really want to have this guy in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews. All my DC Multiverse reviews are up, as well as all 6 figures of the Justice League. So go ahead and check those out. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.